What's up, everybody? Damon here, and in today's gaming news, Elden Ring just got a new update. The sequel to Lords of the Fallen got a confusing name change. More classic Sonic games are coming to Sonic Origins. Redfall actually was going to be released on PS5, and a new LEGO driving game was just announced. This is your Daily Fix. Elden Ring now has a ray tracing graphics option for the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC versions of the game, courtesy of patch 1.09. The update was pushed out earlier today to all versions of the game, though the new ray tracing feature won't be available on PlayStation 4 or Xbox One. Ray tracing can be toggled on and off via the Game Options menu on console and via the Graphics menu on PC. Bandai Namco did caution that both frame rate and resolution may be impacted while playing with ray tracing on. Along with the new ray tracing option, the 1.09 patch brought a slew of bug fixes and balance adjustments to the game that affect everything from attribute scaling and buffs to attack speeds and Ashes of War. A number of PvP-specific nerfs have also been introduced, and an invincibility window has been added for players respawning in the Coliseum. You can check out the full patch notes on IGN. Last month saw the reveal of the upcoming DLC expansion, Shadow of the Erd Tree, which followed the announcement that Elden Ring has officially sold over 20 million copies since its launch in February 2022. The Lords of the Fallen, the long-awaited sequel to 2014 Souls-like Lords of the Fallen, has now been renamed, wait for it, Lords of the Fallen. The name change was subtly baked into a technical showcase released yesterday, March 22nd. This means the sequel now shares the exact same name with the original game. The Lords of the Fallen sequel was re-revealed at Gamescom 2022 after years of troubled development spread across several different studios. It's back on track, however, and a first look at its gameplay was released in December last year. Developed in Unreal Engine 5, the RPG promises tough-as-nails combat in a dark fantasy world taking place 1,000 years after the events of the original game. The new Lords of the Fallen doesn't have a release date yet, but is coming to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and PC. When it arrives, it will be one of the very few games that use Unreal Engine 5 on consoles. We gave the original a 7.4 back in 2014. Other outlets felt similarly about it, since it has a 69 on OpenCritic. Hopefully the sequel to Lords of the Fallen, Lords of the Fallen, is an improvement. Sonic Origins Plus is bringing even more classic Sonic games to modern consoles when it launches on Sonic's birthday, June 23rd. It adds all 12 Game Gear games. Yes, there are 12 Sonic games on Game Gear. It also adds a playable Amy to Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Sonic 3 and Knuckles, and Sonic CD, and a playable Knuckles to Sonic CD. This content will be available as a $10 expansion for those who own 2022's Sonic Origins, while those who don't can purchase it and all the regular Sonic Origins content in a single package for $40. Those buying Sonic Origins Plus as an expansion for the base game will also get every piece of previously released Sonic Origins DLC. The new content will, of course, align with the main game and being digitally remastered for modern platforms. The physical edition of Sonic Origins Plus will come with a 20-page art book and reversible cover sleeve with never-before-seen artwork. The Sonic Origins base game launched on June 23rd last year, but not without controversy. Some fans were already upset over the state of the game's downloadable content, as Sega had announced that hard missions, camera controls on elements of the main menu, and some character animations were all locked behind DLC. The publisher then began delisting classic Sonic games from other platforms, essentially forcing players to purchase Sonic Origins if they wanted to revisit the Blue Blur's origins. The game then launched with various technical issues and other unmentioned changes that had some fans frustrated, that caused one of its key developers to call out Sega on Twitter. It wasn't all bad though. Origins has an 8 out of 10 fan rating on IGN and an overall 77 on OpenCritic. Here's an interesting one. Upcoming Xbox exclusive Redfall was also in development for PlayStation 5 before Microsoft acquired Bethesda, according to the game's director. This version was ultimately canceled and the game became exclusive to Microsoft platforms. Arcane's Harvey Smith explains, "We got bought by Microsoft and that was a huge sea change. They said no PlayStation 5. Now we're going to do Game Pass, Xbox, and PC." Smith said that the studio didn't mind that decision, however. He continued, "We get support from Game Pass and have to worry about one less platform, one less complexity. And Game Pass has a ton of people that can play. It could be our biggest game ever because of the 30 million Game Pass members, or whatever that number is." Since Microsoft acquired Bethesda, both Starfield and Redfall were confirmed to be Microsoft exclusives, while Microsoft still honored Deathloop and Ghostwire Tokyo's timed console exclusivity periods on PlayStation 5. Redfall's now canceled PS5 version is also an interesting revelation considering Microsoft's pending acquisition of Activision Blizzard. However, Redfall was officially revealed in June 2021, well after the initial Microsoft and Bethesda merger announcement in September 2020, which was finalized in March 2021. A PlayStation version was never publicly announced. That's a key difference in my mind between this situation and something like Call of Duty, which is what all the hubbub between Xbox and Sony has been about. Microsoft has reiterated that we'll keep franchises such as Call of Duty on multiple platforms in order to reach as many players as possible. Microsoft has even signed 10-year deals with Nintendo and other cloud gaming service companies. So, games that are already on or announced for other consoles will stay there, and all new games, like Redfall and Starfield, will be Xbox exclusives. Makes sense to me. Redfall launches on May 2nd for Xbox Series X and S and PC. Arcane is also currently working on a fix to reverse the game's controversial always online requirement. And finally today, 2K and the LEGO Group have announced LEGO 2K Drive, a AAA driving adventure game that launches on May 19th. Coming to PlayStation 4 and 5, Xbox One and Series, Nintendo Switch and PC, LEGO 2K Drive is an open-world game with single and multiplayer modes that lets players build any vehicle they like, whether it be street racers, off-roaders, or boats. WWE 2K and NBA 2K developer Visual Concepts is creating the game, which promises to deliver a wide open world with different biomes, races, minigames, challenges, collectibles, things to destroy, and a story to tie it all together. Staying on brand for LEGO, 2K Drive includes a customization system that allows players to build a vehicle that suits their taste with over 1,000 unique LEGO pieces. More conventional choices are in the game too, with cars from LEGO City, Creator, Speed Champions, and even the McLaren Solus GT and F1 LM also available. And this is a nice touch. Two-player split screen will be available alongside online multiplayer. Again, LEGO 2K Drive is out May 19th. And that is your daily fix for Thursday, March 23rd. Now that you're caught up on the news, check out our video on beginner tips for those that are new to the Resident Evil 4 remake. I'm Damon Hadfield, and for all your gaming news, stay tuned to IGN.